Yeah, right. I guess it's on what's on the agenda. True. All right, we'll get started with our September 11th Hamburg IDA meeting. I'm going to start with roll call. Cam Hall. Here. Bob Hutchison. Janet McGregor Clark. Here. Tom Moses. Here. Andy Palmer. Here. Jamel Perkins. Here. Bob Reynolds. Here. Wentz is absent.
Wentz just walked in.
Oh, Wentz is here.
Yeah, you want to wait?
Somebody's walking up.
Yep. And just like to welcome Dr. Marianne Costello, who's going to be joining our board from the Frontier Central School District. Hopefully on the September 23rd board meeting, the town will appoint her. And if you have not, welcome Wentz. If you have not yet, please sign just a brief thank you letter to Davis for his service.
They just ran out of time.
I'll
Take care of that.
So.
Try to put positives. Too much negative.
All right, don't get too comfortable once we're going to stand for a pledge. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Let's just briefly remember.
Oh, yeah.
Today, remember all those people who passed away.
A moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Always do it.
Motion to open the September 11th, 2024 Hamburg, New York IDA Board of Directors meeting at 7:34 a.m. So move.
Second.
Tom, thank you, Janet. First item on our agenda are the meeting minutes from August 14th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you, Janet. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Jamel. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Well, this is a good one. Next item is financial report.
It's a happy day.
August, stay for a month here. Financial report, August 31st, 2024.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the IDA board. We had administrative fees of $209,523.25 coming to our income this month. So with the income, we had $218,940.71 of total income. Our expenses were down to $14,307.78. So excess income over expenses was 14,000, let's see. Excess income over expenses, so we ended up with a net income of $204,632.93. So that's the first page. The second page, I just want to point out that with this additional income, we increased our overall budget from $934,331.62 at the end of last year to $971,174.51, which is an increase of 36,000 plus. So we're in the green for the year. So I thought that was very good, and I want to congratulate you and the administrative of our attorney over there. But well done. That's my report.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Jamel. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Here. Next is my update. Bob talked to the financial performance, so it is reflected in the bar chart there. So we're tracking fairly well in line with our projected budgeted expenses and our spend. The revenue is in excess of the spend. The the spend at the end of the year, we'll get into the budget and the kind of the 2024 forecast. We'll talk to that, but it'll likely be a little bit less than the projected budget expense. As we move down to project activity, so this is where the revenue was recorded. We had 3 closings this past month that have been ongoing for years. Mission Hills Phase 4, which is a senior housing multifamily, K&H Industries expansion, and then Staub Precision Machine, the 2 related projects over on Grimsby Staub Drive there. The Gateway, just a couple updates on emerging project activity. The Gateway building, I don't know if I provided this update in August, but it is seeking a planned unit development status. The developer is essentially making a multi-purpose development that spans a couple of zoning categories. And also due to the amount of investment there and the size of the parcel, a planned unit development does make sense there. So that is going through the planning process now. The process would be, it would move from planning to the town board. The town board that would then potentially appoint this rezoning. It would go back to planning for site plan approval, and then the entitlements would be complete for the developer, assuming all those processes were, worked through and approved. So it will be some time, but it is potentially moving forward with a great reuse plan. So we're encouraged for that. Jeffrey Boulevard, there is a 10-acre parcel that is essentially going through the closing process right now, and that hopefully is poised for development. So there will be hopefully a new building, emerging on Jeffrey in the near future.
Do we know what the sale price was on it?
I believe it was 60,000 an acre, so
Okay.
600,000 for the parcel. Else. Iovate, there is a new user in that building. That is the building, it was vacated on Jeffrey. It's 200,000 square feet. Tesla is leasing that space over there. Not exactly sure. I popped in and introduced myself. Looking forward to a meeting with kind of like the plant manager, the site director there. When I was there, it was essentially just some, kind of just steps, like essentially setting up the site, racking and whatnot, doing that type of work, kind of pre-occupancy type, make ready the type of infrastructure.
Just a quick question. Did they give you any employment numbers they're looking at?
No, they, I will be interested to see, what they're doing there, if we can certainly assist them there. There's, that parcel also has 10 acres undeveloped, so there's room for expansion there. So, it certainly makes sense to engage them. They're not going to be required if they do not choose to show their employment or show what they're doing
Right.
there. It's not an IDA project, so they're not subject to the same scrutiny. If you would be getting a tax abatement, they're paying at full assessed value. The abatements have expired over there. But certainly we'd love to, work with them and provide them any tools that they need if they would, be interested in expanding the campus. So, but that's a big building, so that's excellent that that's being reutilized now. I want to back up a little bit. In your packet, there is the letter regarding the Camp Road Interchange District that we talked to in September or in August. This is over on the exit 57 area that is largely owned by Benderson and Liberatory Group. The town was interested, just to explain a little bit further, in having some type of destination entertainment type of zoning in that area. However, at the draft that I reviewed, as it was reviewed by the code review committee, they were excluding any new hotel development. So if you were existing hotel, you would be permitted to operate, you'd essentially be grandfathered in, but new hotels would be prohibited. And the board had discussed in the August meeting, and then we had forwarded a letter saying that we feel that, you know, the hotels are needed and necessary to support entertainment type uses at that site. So, you know, if you would go to an area and they would have like an indoor water park attraction, they may have their own hotel connected to the project, but then there would be other hotel developments there to support overflow and peak activity times. So we did provide that letter. I did meet with code review committee. I was at the town board work session, and we're still kind of working through that. They are open to the idea of hotels. It's more so, I guess, discerning what type of hotels are being incorporated there. So we're still kind of working through it. Yes.
Just, is there a way, I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but maybe, just posting this on the website? Do we have a tab for correspondence on the website or something to publicize our
We can
stance
set
on
up a
it?
tab for correspondence.
Just something to publicize and try to
Yeah.
garner, support from the community for such thing.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
So continuing the work, so I'll likely be at the next code review committee meeting. I'm not sure when it will be presented again in the town board work session, but, you know, we're trying to support some favorable zoning in that area, you know, in line with the town's vision. So, you know, we're trying to, the town is, I think the town board is leading the charge on this district and the vision for this district. But what I am trying to incorporate, what I think our board is trying to incorporate, are real estate development expertise to, you know, within the lines of their vision to try to make this successful. And I think that, you know, hospitality and lodging is a crucial component of that. We did also, on Monday, I am on the stadium area kind of zoning committee. And the town board, through our committee's recommendation, did appoint a consultant. They received a state consolidated financial application grant to revisit some zoning over there, which is great. Pretty much simultaneously, the Erie Community College Board of Directors approved a new site for the South Campus. So the South Campus will essentially be moving to Cobham Drive, which is in Orchard Park, near the
Near
Technical
Fox Run.
Training Center, near Fox Run. What building over there?
It's right on 28 and, is that California Road?
Yeah, is it on California?
The red
building right on the corner?
Yeah, it's the one that's got a big 4-leaf sign.
Is that it? So I know it was 34,000 square feet. And, you know, and it wasn't the former building that you worked at.
Was the one across the road, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
A special impact project around the stadium could be something you get involved in, correct?
oh, potentially, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, even in the Camp Road, I mean, these could potentially be IDA supported projects. You know, there's you know, so we'll continue to kind of work through the process, engage the public, and provide our knowledge and expertise, you know, in doing so. So Mary and I have been spending time, you know, researching the other stadium areas, you know, and more so in the lines of, you know, seeing what is offered, like what an end user would experience, but also going into that respective municipality's meeting minutes and seeing what type of zoning was done, what the process was, you know, what type of hiccups, you know, that those local municipalities have experienced, in hopes that we can kind of expedite any learning curve as we look through what's redeveloped.
I have to say, you know, I've never been to Patriot Place unless it's for a game, on game day, but it's in the nowhere. And there's one way in and one way out, and I don't know how that whole developed area does outside of
The games,
game day.
yeah.
That would be curious to see what,
Yeah, I've been looking at the Lambeau Field, title town, because it, similar size municipality, similar socioeconomic status generally. And they do have supportive facilities, so there's 125,000 square foot conference and expo center there. In addition, they have I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's minor league hockey and minor league basketball. So they also have an arena. I'm not sure what the seating size is. So they have the stadium and then kind of off the beaten path from that, but, adjacent, it would be, these two stadium event centers. And then the title town area is where the lodging is and where like the experience kind of, venues are.
Is that right, Green Bay?
well, and that,
No.
yeah, it's just outside.
I never been to practice.
What you find, like, we'll use New Orleans as an example. Every day you can book a tour in the stadium. Here, it's like pulling teeth to get an opportunity to go inside the stadium and tour it outside of game day.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you gotta look at those things too. What offerings do they have besides game day
Yeah.
or pre-game day?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, now it's just a small committee, so we'll engage the public and certainly the IDA board. But there was talks about, medical facilities, orthopedic type facilities and training associated with the sports venue. There was talk about a potential museum. There was talk about those, the NFL, maybe more of a permanent, like NFL experience type of venue there. So these are just brainstorming ideas that we're at now, but I thought it was pretty interesting. It was along the same lines, just to drive use to that area beyond, several Sundays or Mondays.
If you drive up there pre-game day, this weekend, it's packed. Like people just, last night I drove by, because I'm a loser, I like to watch the progress of the building and how fast they clean up. People, literally, families were picnicking outside the stadium, where they have that kind of purple tented stage area next to the Bill store. People were picnicking. I'm like, well, that's fun. Like they just rolled up and,
It's a matter of encouragement. The population of Green Bay, Wisconsin is 106,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not like it's some huge population base that we can't compare to between Hamburg, Orchard Park, the rest of surrounding people. Even forget Buffalo or the metropolitan area. We have more
Mhm.
capacity and population.
Yeah,
Yeah, we use Wisconsin, Green Bay as a limit stuff.
thanks. Any other questions or comments? Continue on with our agenda. So, the next item under new business is a motion to approve the 2025 Hamburg IDA budget as presented in your packet. If you want to review, Bob, I'll let you get into it. So I just have a general comment.
Yeah.
That I brought up, to just highlight in our, executive committee meeting. So this budget was reviewed, by the executive committee and then, forwarded on to the full board. The first, numbered column is the 2024 forecast. So, we are looking at, with the proposed agency revenue, minus the operating expenses and the grant support that we have provided in 2024, a net income of negative $21,315. So with the financial success of the past month, we would be reporting negative income within the IDA, within the Land Development Corporation budget with revenue of interest rate revenue, and potentially, on the call yesterday, the bond project was looking to close around December 6th, December 15th. We would potentially have revenue between those two categories in the amount of roughly $351,569. So between the two agencies, we would have net income of $330,000 $254. So it will look to be a positive year. In 2025, I maintained project fee revenue at $250,000 for the IDA. This would roughly represent $25 million of commercial investment that would be generated through the IDA in the town of Hamburg. This is less than 2023. We backed off of our 2023 projected revenue amount due to inflation and lending largely. So due to economic factors, we've ratcheted that down to be realistic, have our financial targets realistic with the economy. We do have some potential projects on the horizon that have been emerging, so that's optimistic. We really did not see the last couple of months a lot of project activity, but there is an emergence of some project activity. We have some multifamily mixed use. We have the reuse project at the Convent Gardens, which I would love to see that move forward. That site has been languishing. The Gateway Building, the light industrial projects I mentioned on Jeffrey. There's potential projects on Southwestern Boulevard as well. The next was salary and benefits in terms of going through the expenses. These will include our contracted rates, plus monies projected for a discretionary bonus. There is also a 15%, it was projected by our provider, a 10 to 15% increase in healthcare expense.
Where do you guys get that service? That's just the town.
No, it's actually provided through a benefits consultant that works for the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, that's right.
So I believe it's P&A Group.
Yeah.
And so we do get some scale benefit because they do all, you can get some savings from the chamber, like scale savings by bundling.
So any chamber members can take advantage of it.
Correct. Rent expense will continue. The income from the HDC program will continue, same as 2024. I budgeted less grant expense, but did include $5,000 to support the town with the Stadium Expo area marketing. So that would potentially be areas on our website, anything that we can do to drive this expo area and promote it to area investors. One thing I didn't mention in the director report was also seeing the money behind these projects, seeing like who the investors are behind these stadium area redevelopment projects as well as import. So overall in 2025, we would budget through our expenses to manage expenses and to get $26,719 in proposed net income for 2025. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
No, I think a motion to approve.
Thanks, Cam.
I'll second.
On the question.
Thanks, Bob. Yes, Andy.
It's more just, I want to get it before you guys vote or not, but where it says membership dues, the BBA we're actually in the process of, unless somebody steps up, shutting that down, so.
Okay.
It's like 25 bucks, nothing, but I didn't want it to be carried on forever.
What's the BBA?
Blaisdell Business Association.
Thanks.
So is the financial chairman, obviously everybody's seen the grant, you cut that down 40,000, but there is anything in this budget that now's the time if you want to see an increase or anything or decrease, now's the time to bring it forward. So we've got that planning done. So any member have got anything that they want to see going forward. And Sean's done and Mary's done a great job putting this all together. And still think that 250 we're gonna make it. There's some other projects coming in, we're projected income, so hopefully everything works out for us there. So it'll be good for our idea.
So I just have one question. We have rent listed twice. We have rent under rent and then we have rent under office expense. If you look at office expenses and you go over supplies, business, first Hamburg Sun postage, now includes $4,800 rent. And then you have a little lower down rent listed again.
You know what? I will remove that now includes $4,800 rent, because that's not carried there.
Okay.
in that amount. So there will be no change to the budgets, just change to the budget notes. Perfect. Thanks, Jen. Good catch. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Here. Any call for executive session? Motion to adjourn this, oh,
Can we do just one thing? Just in welcoming Marianne, maybe at some point, Sean, I don't know if you do an onboarding. Just to update her on the projects that just closed, some things that are in the pipeline, like we've had lots of discussions about the Bethlehem building, the office building. Just to kind of.
sure, yeah, we're gonna be meeting after this meeting and then, if needed,
Fabulous.
into the future, so yes, yeah. There's a lot to learn here, and similar, but a lot of, we had talked about some of the, authority budget office regulations and the state law that, kind of govern IDA, so we'll get her up to speed.
Watch a lot of video.
Well, I mean, all that stuff's important, but the actual projects
Yeah.
that we have ongoing right now are.
On Grimsby, has anybody driven by those projects? It looks awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
they're moving right along.
I'll say one thing, I think you're gonna find, the board to be, has a very interesting set of backgrounds. We're all over the place with our backgrounds, but you're gonna also find that we respect each other's opinions. And we learn from each other and work really well together.
Thanks. Motion to adjourn at 7:59 a.m.
So,
Second. Mr. Bob, Mr. Lentz, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.